What's up? What's up? It is Second and Short coming back to you guys with another new edition podcast. I am Tyler Louder. He is Aaron Ben.
I am. Tyler, we haven't spoken in so long. I'm excited to see you, man.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall here. It has been about 10 seconds between conversations that we've had, which seems like forever for us. Fun fact for everybody, we haven't went longer than 10 seconds of talking to each other since we first met.
Yeah, I feel like if I don't talk to you, I start to like hyperventilate and it's kind of hard to breathe and everything goes like kind of dizzy and
Which is kind of funny. That's kind of funny because like another fun fact is that like you used to hate me.
I did when we played youth soccer together. Shout out to Danny, who is our coach, and he played favorites with you. So what's up, man?
Some say there was a family relation there that I lived in the same house as him, but whatever.
Nepotism.
All right, well, let's move on to our second, new edition video here. And this podcast, we are going to be switching over from the AFC to the NFC, which is kind of the theme that we're going to go with here. And the new edition that we're going to talk about today, which is kind of weird that I'm saying this because, like, obviously, if you're watching this, you clicked on the thumbnail and you saw the picture of the person and you read the title of the video, but it's Duron Harmon. It's the safety that, has traveled all the way from Clam Chowder Town in New England all the way to Detroit, and he's ready to rock. And but let's start this whole thing off. All right, so let's talk about the background. Harmon was drafted in the third round back in 2013 out of Rutgers University. And during his rookie season, obviously he was a backup because that's pretty much what happens with anybody that plays for New England in these times. You kind of just sit, learn, grow, adapt, insert late season. And that's what he did. His first career start came in November that same year.
So and then he played decently his rookie season backup strong safety. Lost the competition to Patrick Chung in 2014 and was the backup again. And then also in 2014 in the playoffs, he intercepted Joe Flacco, kind of sealing the win for the Patriots in that game. It's an example of why he got the nickname the closer, because he has this kind of penchant for coming in and making like a late game-sealing interception. So that's why his nickname is the closer.
And then in 2015 to 2016, he was kind of used as in those nickel and dime packages, as like the third safety because New England was, and with them being so stacked with Patrick Chung and Devin McCourty that he didn't always have that opportunity to step in. But whenever he did, it was in those packages showing that he had the ability to come down and cover those slot receivers and take on those tight ends. And now he signed a 4-year deal to stay with the Pats and was actually named captain.
Yeah, I think that kind of speaks to his character a bit because this is a guy who's not a full-time starter, but yeah, he's still coming in. He's a captain, so that kind of speaks a bit to his character and leadership skills. Like I said, he wasn't ever a full-time starter in New England. He never started more than 8 games in the season. A lot of that has to do with like how, because the starter is whoever is on the field for the first time in the game. So if they weren't playing a certain sub package on the first play of the game, then he wasn't out there. But in reality, he did play a lot of snaps for them, and he contributed a lot. He had 4 interceptions in both 2017 and 2018. And overall throughout his career, he had 17 career picks, 1 forced fumble, and 3 fumble recoveries. And Tyler, I thought you said we were talking about free agents. But, I mean...
Oh, you're right. Normally, we would be talking about free agents. However, this is all about new additions. And a new addition anyway, other than the NFL draft. Because we spent... years in talking about the NFL draft and all these rookies. So this new addition though is not a regular free agent signing. the New England Patriots finally let go of him and they traded him. It's very interesting to me because like it's a fifth round pick 172. Like, and the fact that it traveled that far and it originally was traded for a safety, then it got traded again for a safety, and then it just keeps getting moved around and they end up back with it anyways. It
kind of reminds me, there's like the song by the rapper Joyner Lucas, who I don't even remember what the song's called, but the music video just shows the path of a dollar bill, like from the cash register to a drug dealer to like, and it shows the whole cycle of a dollar bill. So that's kind of how I see this fifth round pick being just kind of chucked around the league. Speaking of dollar bills, Harmon has a cap hit of
transition.
Yeah, you like that? He has a cap hit of just over $4 million this year, and he'll be a free agent after the 2020 season. So Tyler, I would like to hear about how Duron Harmon is supposed to fit in Detroit and what's kind of the thought process behind the trade.
So for me personally, I think this is trying to fix almost like a mistake. Like trading away Diggs left a hole at that strong safety position for the Detroit Lions, and Tracy Walker was a pleasant surprise last year at the free safety spot. The guy was a tackling machine, getting over like 82 solo tackles and like over 100 combined tackles. And they obviously have guys like Miles Kilbrew and Will Harris. And Miles Kilbrew has had his chances to step up out of Southern Utah, but it just has not delivered for whatever reason. This guy was a playmaker in college, and it's not clicking and everything. And Will Harris, obviously, was a third round pick the year before, and he kind of had a decent season, but he is also going to be 25 at the end of the year, going into a second year. That's a very old safety. It's a very old player. And I know safeties get a little older and they can play and everything, but just he's very old for being so young in the NFL. Now, he's going to have a chance to compete here, but that's essentially what Harmon stepped in. Harmon is here to take that strong safety spot, which in my opinion is his. And he's going to fit in because, let's just be honest. Matt Patricia comes from New England, and he likes his New England players. He likes those defenders that he has worked with before, and he probably had an impact or some slight say in Harmon becoming a captain just because he sees how hard he works. I mean, Harmon is a very hard worker both on and off the field, like game day, pre-game, anything. He's always pushing. He's a smart, intelligent player. He's very likable. And this connection was obvious to see. If he was going to get traded anywhere, this was going to be one of those spots. And I think that he's going to be able to play well with Tracy Walker because he does have these ball hawking abilities just in limited sample sizes that we've seen, which for me is a great compliment because he can step back into that deep zone coverage and allow Tracy Walker to kind of play in front of him and be more mobile and move. He's very consistent, and this is just because he has so little reps and he's able to capitalize and get big plays. He doesn't get targeted a lot because he's really good in press and in his zone coverage skills. I mean, Pro Football Focus rated him a 73.7 last year.
Okay, yeah. So where Harmon can come in and kind of excel is both against the run and the pass. He's a smart player. He's very good at diagnosing the play, knowing where to be, and that's kind of where he gets his tendency to get those game-stealing interceptions. Part of being smart is knowing where to put himself, in the run game, in order to clog up those running lanes. This kind of forces the running back into traffic, and he's not going to get those raw numbers, and you're not going to see that just in the stat line on ESPN or whatever. But it does lead to his teammates being able to come in and make the stop and get the tackle and just kind of stuff the run game where it is. So he is a very smart player, and that's kind of why he's held on for 7 years now in the league. He's not just good in the run game. He can play some deep safety as well. He's got good speed, he's got good length, and he's decent enough in man coverage. Not as great in zone coverage.
I mean, I think it's that he's way better at man coverage. I still think that I think he's very adequate in zone coverage, and that's where I think he's going to be able to make a lot of plays as well. But then again, he comes from a system in New England where they play a lot of man coverage. And what do you know? They head to Detroit, and what do?
I think they also play a lot of man coverage. I mean, that's kind of surprising with Matt Patricia.
Kind of just sounds like a fit is what we're hearing. And, he's not going to be asked to do a lot of zone coverage, but I think he's going to be able to. I just think he's a way better safety than his usage has shown in the past. And now, Detroit is one of those teams, like we said, they play a lot of man coverage, but they have got to improve on that. And there's a couple ways you do that. You go out and you go get these safeties that are just ball hawks and can like step into the box, and they can manhandle guys in the slot and take down those tight ends, or they can drop back and they can make plays. And then you go to the draft, or you do that too, and you get a rookie that can come in and learn and develop. And that's what they did. They went out and they got Jeff Okudah to play the outside, which is going to force more into the middle, which is where I think Harmon is going to excel and continue to get turnovers. He's going to get interceptions like he has in the past 3 years. He has 10 interceptions. And I think that's going to show his consistency as he gets more and more reps and more touches.
Yeah, and I mean if Okudah, who's known for his man coverage skills, can come in and shut down that outside receiver, or like the number one receiver, you're right. They're going to see a lot more passes going Harmon's way.
Yeah, and like we're saying, if he's covering those guys, I mean, Harmon's got great size at over 6 foot tall, over 200 pounds. He can step up and compete with these safeties. And he can kind of bully these guys underneath as well. And, I mean, he's not getting paid elite numbers, but he is getting made to look like a priority. And I think in this system, he's going to be a priority. And I think his usage is going to go up closer to that 100% range, where he's playing near 90% of the time. Now, let's talk about how this impacts the team short-term, long-term. Now, it's obvious. We already talked about it. He's got a 1-year deal right now for 4.25 million. And in 2020, the obvious answer would be he's a free agent. He goes somewhere else. However, if the Lions team doesn't falter and Patricia can keep his job, I think that's where Harmon wants to play. It's somewhere that he feels comfortable. It's a great fit for him with man coverage on that defensive team. It's a great coaching fit with personalities. It's a great positional fit with the fact that they don't have a legit starter there, pending what happens with Harris that we talked about. Talk to me about his impact short and long term.
Yeah, I think short term, he's going to come in and immediately be that starter at the strong safety spot. He's going to provide that veteran leadership, come in, kind of mentor the younger safeties there. And he's already proven himself to be dependable and consistent, hard worker, team player, all those like buzzwords that you like to hear. He, like we said, he's going into his contract year. He's going to want to prove himself as more than just like a situational player. He wants to prove himself to be that starting caliber player so he can get paid. I mean, that's what they want to do. And he's approaching 30 years old. He's kind of getting into the older years of his career. He's going to want to try and get a big contract, because this might be the last chance for him to get a big contract and get like starting caliber numbers.
I think a guy that is so willing to do it all, and whenever he's asked to do so, is going to come out and he's going to ball out for the Detroit Lions. And I mean, if he wants that contract, he has to do it. There is no next year. I mean, he can try and get a 1-year prove it deal next year, but if he performs very well, he's not going to get a 1-year deal, no matter if he leaves the free agency or stays. Based on the talent they have in this team and the youth that they have coming up and the lack of competition that he might see, because then again, Harris might just play free safety and compete with Walker. He could just see all the stars align for him with one successful season as a legit starter for the majority of the season and get that big contract. And that'd be nice to see, because a guy like him that works so hard and plays his heart out every play, which I know a lot of players do, but I like to see those types of guys get theirs. That's all.
And I mean, I guess another question I have is, Bill Belichick, he has this kind of tendency to like release or trade away seemingly like franchise guys, players that have been with the team for a long time, seemingly like in their prime, and then like 1 or 2 years later, they suddenly are just kind of like, we talked about this with like Vince Wilfork, Richard Seymour, he did it to Tom Brady. I mean, that's kind of like, he's not afraid.
There's a difference, though.
He's not afraid to let those players walk, and then sometimes we kind of see why he let them walk. So I kind of have to ask if Duron Harmon is in the same kind of situation, if he's not going to start to decline, maybe not this year, but next year.
I don't think so, because I think everything, it's like, it's the stars aligning. It's a fit, This just, it feels good. It feels right. It feels like the moment that you're starving at nighttime and you have nothing to eat, and then all of a sudden that freezer just pops open and you see a bag of pizza rolls and you're just like, what? And the stars just aligned for you, and everything's good in life. I love talking about food.
So you're kind of comparing Duron Harmon to pizza rolls. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, consistent, good at any time. I mean, you give me a bowl of pizza rolls for breakfast, I'll eat it. I don't even care. Like it's some type of cereal.
I can F with that.
But overall, in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna have the same impact, because he has been such a long stay player and he's been a team player for so long. It's not like he was let go for any other reason than cap, in my opinion, because the New England Patriots were kind of up against the cap. They didn't have a lot of room and everything, so they needed to find some. And he's on a 1-year deal. That's all. He's just trying to get ahead of the curve, get some cap space. I think that in a division where people throw the ball so much, to these awesome targets that they have, every team in this division has these big possession-based receivers and tight ends.
Yeah, you've got some really good quarterbacks like Rodgers. You got Kirk Cousins, Mitchell Trubisky. So talking good passers, good quarterbacks.
Did you just call Mitch Trubisky top 3 competition quarterback in the NFC North?
I mean, I don't want to piss off any
you could have said
Lions.
You could have said Nick Foles.
Well, Duron Harmon doesn't have to play against Matthew Stafford.
No, that's why I said competition. But I mean, you could have said Nick Foles, and you chose Trubisky
because it's funnier.
Okay, we'll just. Since we're not going to be talking about the Chicago Bears, you can say whatever you want about them, and it's fine, because the Bears fans don't like us apparently. So. Let's go Harmon. Let's go pick off some Bears. We're rooting for you. And overall, small prediction is that he is going to have multiple interceptions this season. I'm going to say closer to his peak time that he had in 17 and 18. And he's going to hit that 4 interception mark. And he's going to be able to shut down some guys in man coverage, which is going to help this defense continue to grow as they are. Lions added a lot of great things on defense this year. A lot of things, and they need to, because you're just going to run Stafford into the ground if you don't start giving him a good defense to keep up with his, gunslinging ability.
Yeah, I agree. I have him around that 3 to 5 interception area this year. That's kind of where I see him going as well. I think he'll come in and he'll be able to play pretty decently.
And that is going to do it for us here on Second and Short. Be sure to hit that like button, punch it, smash it, Hulk smash it. Wait, is that copyright? Subscribe to us. Keep touching this content. And if you want to see other things, let's say you're just an NFL fan, you're not just a Detroit Lions fan. If you are, that's okay. But if you like other teams, at the top right, you're going to see this little icon. Click it there. See all the other players that we're talking about in this new additions section and category.
And just keep on getting on there.
And down in our bio, be sure to click the link to our Facebook page. Come join the discussions we have there. We have discussions every other day. We have some polls, a poll a week up there. And then also click that link, follow us on Instagram and just kind of check out what we got there. I mean, we are not the most serious sports podcast out there. We like to have a little fun. So join on in, bash whoever you want, and maybe we'll join along and like it as well. So
looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.